very happy that Violetta asked me to present today to you our attempts in the Netherlands of getting cell and gene therapies, a form of ATMPs, towards clinical implementation. So what are ATMPs? ATMPs are living drugs, and they really expand currently our medicinal toolbox. So we are having classical drugs, pills, synthetic drugs. We have biologicals that are antibodies and also used to treat many diseases already. And now we also have living drugs, which are formally called advanced therapy medicinal products, ATMPs. And ATMPs are medicines for human use that are based on genes, tissues, or cells, and they really offer groundbreaking new opportunities to treat diseases. If we then zoom into cancer, living drugs in cancer consist of fully functional cells that have been selected and are often modified in order to treat the patient. Examples are tumor-infiltrating lymphocytes, and especially for melanoma, these are very promising type of drugs, which I will explain a bit later. And other examples are cell vaccines made from cancer cells or specifically conditioned immune cells, or engineered immune cells. So in that example, cells from the immune system of the patient, as you can see in the picture, are isolated, and in the laboratory, these cells receive a sensor or a receptor on their surface, and that receptor can then recognize the cancer cells. So after expansion in the laboratory, the CAR T cells are brought back into the patient. At the UMC Utrecht, we have our own so-called CAR T cell therapy. We call them TECs, so T cells with a gamma delta T cell receptor. This receptor also recognizes cancer cells from different types of cancer. So our first experimental clinical study has the following setup. So we are treating acute myeloid leukemia and multiple myeloma patients. And from these patients, the immune cells are being collected, and the green new receptor is brought to the surface of these cells, and the cells are purified, so only the new engineered immune cells with the tumor-specific sensor is given back to the patient. And this clinical study is currently ongoing, and I hope to be able to share results with you anytime soon. Another example are already mentioned tumor-infiltrating lymphocytes, and I received some slides from Professor John Hane, who is a professor at the National Cancer Institute in Amsterdam, and they're really trying to bring this tumor-infiltrating lymphocyte therapy towards the clinical care of the in the melanoma. So to explain you a bit, what is this type of therapy? So from patients with stage 3 or 4 melanoma, metastases are isolated, and in the laboratory, these tumor cells, tumor masses are digested, brought into small pieces, and together with growth factors and stimulating agents, the immune cells grow out. And in the meantime, the patient is pre-treated with a lympho-depleting chemotherapy, and this allows space, it paves the way for the effect of the T cells that are then reinfused into the patients, and also in the body stimulated with growth factors to expand and circulate, finding the melanoma metastases and clear them. So these therapies very promising. It's been shown already in a phase 3 clinical trial, and therefore the NKI is looking into this therapy more in detail, looking into what are these cells that do the job. They have the pink type cells, the so-called yellow cells, and some green cells, and they're really figuring out what are the different functions of these cells to really understand the mechanism of this cellular therapy. The current status of the therapy is that there's one commercial product available in the US for patients that are at stage 4 melanoma following a progressive disease on standard of care. And the NKI product, so the products from the Netherlands, TM001, that's aimed to be a non-commercial, fresh cellular product that currently is only available locally in the Netherlands and Denmark. And now they are trying to get this therapy also registered in Europe to be able to treat more patients with this promising therapy. So in the Netherlands, there are many universities working on these cellular therapies to treat cancer patients. And we thought that it's time to join forces, to not reinvent the wheel all by ourselves, but really work together in this complex journey to get these patients, these therapies into clinical care. So we founded the consortium, and we named it THeraNL, the Dutch Platform for Cancer-Specific ATMP Research, to ensure harmonized development, clinical testing, and sustained patient access. And here you can see connecting all the dots together with we have, of course, a management team, but that's not so important. What I would like to show you here, that we have 3 pillars. We focus on knowledge exchange, the data sharing, training, but we also look into the facilities that really make these medicinal products in the academic centers ready to be infused in the patients, and where can we there collaborate to harmonize certain processes to together interpret the complex guidelines to ensure the highest quality and safety for these products. But we're also looking into assay development together with the other partners. So the second pillar is our ATMP Biologics and Technology Hub, where we look into how can we make the very expensive ingredients that are necessary for these type of therapies available for academic clinical trials. We look into future technologies that also need to be available in these highly regulated facilities I just mentioned, and that needs translational steps. So that's what we're also looking into together. And last but not least, to implement and these therapies, we need, of course, support from regulatory science, health economics, health technology assessment, but also our patient supportive organizations are involved to get really these therapies to the patient. And this is our governance structure, but most importantly, I would like to mention that we really collaborate closely with the different patient organizations, I have to say, in our patient advisory board. We have international experts that advise us, and we have a scientific advisory board. And we also connected in the Netherlands to many organizations that are also working in the field of advanced therapy medicinal project. This is our patient advisory board, and we have Simone Punt, who is a patient liaison, so really a dedicated person that is the bridge between the scientist and the patient, and have regular interactions together. So I would also like to show you something about a local initiative in Utrecht. This is the Innovation Center for Advanced Therapies that we founded 2 years ago. And our mission is to build bridges between research and clinical practice by uniting all relevant expertise and infrastructure to optimize patient-specific advanced therapies. And how do we do that? So in here I would like to show you how we do this. We have 3 different sub-facilities in our center. So first, the biofabrication pilot facility. That's a facility where we have engineers working together with medical biologists on technical development of printing of tissue and cells and scaffolds, and a combination of those in order to repair tissue such or cartilage in knees. And we next have our GMP simulation facility. This is a facility that bridges the research laboratory and our GMP production facility. So once a concept has been defined in a research setting, the manufacturing protocol needs a translation, an optimization, and a standardization before we can use this procedure in a clinical trial. And if that's ready, then we move towards our GMP production facility, for which I'm a bit blocking the picture and the text. But in that facility, you see people working very well protected to making the medicines that are being used in our clinical trials. So in the next slide, you'll be able to see a short movie on our facility.
By working together with quantitative ethics, process engineers, variant stuff, and military collaborative conduct and different disciplines, is self-possessed and the constitutive activity and production test. This disciplinary preference to year, subsequently, the product and resources can optimize and make the relations of by a sorted when a better thing doesn't succeed at the deal with her, so it's a to make the necessary for the poor, competent ones. In this software, ATMP simulator, VII system, the process is one element change in part, similar to a team, to ascertain whether the quality is assured and the quality is safer effect when cases. How often the therapy is principles that is of counter-display research and most independent thinking, but take at least think of the perfect with the it's not that quick trend. If a lot still awaits its marketers, finds fascinating, talented, can the figure better read there. Knowledge institutes and companies work that rely on innovation, simulation, and production, cleaning, and sell, and to sheet up the eye. Yet finishes that to the finalist of the possibility for the implementation that Sarah's and data. These rather navigated Osni is the archetype line version as a significant, have the events on it, on the GRI stuff in Zunderkin, in potions.
So these are 3 examples of projects that we run in this facility. We have the osteoarthritis project, where scientists make use of the printer technologies to print part of cartilage to repair and restore the diseased bones. We have our CAR T-cell project in the middle, where we have a CAR T-cell therapy treatment. We collaborate there with the Children Oncology Center, the Princess Maxima Center. And we have a study that is repairing fractured knees. And we recently had the opening of our dedicated innovation and simulation facility. And in 2025, we're opening 6 additional clean rooms at the Utrecht campus for the production of these ATMPs. This was what I wanted to tell you. I hope you have a very nice day. And if you would like to contact me, please reach out. And here's also my contact details. Thank you.